Yeah.
Morning, Brigadier Morning. We didn't know you were playing me until they
No, no, I didn't know which one. Avec UTSS, c'est bon.
شباب أكيد لا لا مم كبرى قواما هاي الأخير أنا كانت تري إيه كم لا يمسك أوكي بدل لا كم جيسون
Ay, MCM ay hindi ka mas just
إيه يعني بلاكي مر بتروح كم بابا نيس
Ke kopa lo ska ya briefing ga rena ditulo matona ke a
Ha ke batla go dira jalo ke siame.
ya wena o siame
ما رابلا
moruti ke
so أنت كورا مرتو رابلا لا لما جي إيت خام
that's J Day
Ke Africans ya number 4.
na ka itla rera
إيه
general How was the next
ya cari cakap lila lah because of kau nak orang sama-sama ibadah mana orang tu kau tu cuma itu
help us to achieve the desires of our hearts. That desire to see this province being a crime-free province. The desire to see this province being a province that tops other provinces when it comes to crime prevention, when it comes to matters of GBV, then it is less or does not exist. We need to pray to God that God can help us to achieve this. Now, one thing that we did not come to God with is pride and arrogance. We need to humble ourselves so that God can lift us up. We need to humble ourselves so that God can put us on the pedestal and show the world that those who commit their plans to the Lord, they become successful because God is walking the path with them. Now, one thing that I picked up from these verses is that when our ways pleases God, He makes even our enemies to be at peace with us. Now, if you walk the path of integrity, if we do our things ethically so, one truth that will stand out is that even our enemies will be at peace with us. I don't know who your enemy is in your environment. I don't know what you are facing that requires you to pray to God every day, that requires you to commit what you do to God every day. But in everything that you do, remember, do it, and consistently so do it ethically. And don't do it today, then tomorrow you change. No, do it consistently so. And you will see even your enemy will start telling the others, again, Iman of different, say, gets the story. This one, we eat Indaba. Even when they try to discredit you, but the way you move, the way you present yourself, will always help you to win them over. And it will not be because you have any other power within you, but it will be caused by God who sees your heart. May all the deliberations of this Indaba help this province to become number one at fighting crime, to become the best at everything that is good, to excel at everything that is good. My wish is that may God grant us the wisdom and courage not to stand back when it gets tough, but to stand our ground when it gets difficult, so that we can win this plan. Commit your works to the Lord. Amen. Come, let us pray. Thank you, Lord, for this day. We thank you for showing us what. We thank you for seeking us and speaking to us today. Lord, you are never far away. and you hear us when you call out to you. May your presence be with us through this Indaba. Both 2 days, may your presence, may you bless us with your presence. We thank you, Lord, for showing us your unfailing love and kindness. What a life-changing experience it is to be known by you. As we commit this Indaba to you, Lord, we pray for wisdom, courage, and your guidance so that we can achieve the goals that we have set for ourselves. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Chaplain, for the encouraging words this morning. Without any waste of time, before we can go anywhere and do anything, it is just proper that I call the JTG Executive Mayor, Councillor, Queen, Mokhatle Tuan, hore amogela bagedi. A ga le clap matsogo hela for just for yeah.
Ke a leboga program director. Thank you so much to Reverend Shupinyane. May God foresee us. Indeed, thank you very much for the word. Good morning to the MEC Goloi, MEC of Transport, Safety and Liaison, our Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Otola, and the Deputy Provincial Commissioner, Dade Besnar. The Khositsa, I don't know whether they've been invited, MEC, they're here. Our HOD, the HOD of the department, Dade Petersen. Acknowledgement to also the business sectors. I don't know whether they are here, but they're supposed to be here because this affects us all. Civil societies amongst us, our CPFs, Pop Crew is also here. All senior officials of government that are here, and all the officials of government. Setšhaba sa rona ka kakaretšo. Dumela mo mošong wa letsatsi. Good morning. Goeiemorgen. That's how far you can go. I can only speak Afrikaans and English, and the other ones, no, I can't. Without really further ado, Program Director, thank you very much for the opportunity. Let me take this opportunity to welcome all of you in this crime Indaba. MEC crime prevention is a collective responsibility. We therefore need to be seen working together to create a safer community for ourselves, our families, and our neighbors. So this can only be achieved by being vigilant, reporting suspicious activities, and supporting our law enforcement agencies. Let's also focus on prevention through education, such as mentorship and community programs that will ultimately empower our youth and provide opportunities for growth. By doing so, we can address the root cause of crime and build a society of respect and dignity for all. Me go ntse jalo MEC re le setšhaba sa Kurumane ne ke re ke go lotlegele gore we are mourning. Go na le sengwe se leng gore se diragetse mo Kurumane ka kakaretso se leng gore is for the very first time se diragala in Kurumane, where 3 corpses were stolen or taken at the mortuary. I think we are all aware. So we are mourning as a society, for we don't even know what is happening with this case, what happened, but it's something new that is now happening and within our society. Last week, MEC, the way really in society, we are now beginning to normalize this thing of gender-based violence, which is incorrect. Ngwana o mong wa mosetsana o remilwe ka selepe. You can imagine o remiwa ka selepe mo tlhogong. So this thing of gender-based violence is very serious, and we must not be seen in normalizing gender-based violence as it affects all of us. Let's work together to support survivors, hold perpetrators accountable, and promote a culture of respect and equality. We therefore owe it to ourselves. We owe it to our good selves, our children, our future generations to build a safer, more just society. We need to break this silence, challenge harmful norms, and stand up for what is right. Together, we can make a difference. Together as a collective, we can make a difference if we are serious about this issue of crime and how to combat it. Let us use this opportunity wisely to engage in commissions. I therefore welcome all of you to the district of John Town, Gaitsewe. Welcome and thank you very much.
Without any waste of time, ladies and gentlemen, for the introduction of guests, I'll call Brigadier Kopeleti to introduce the guests for us. A round of applause for the Brigadier, please.
Once more again, MEC and entourage, good morning. MEC, in our midst, we are having yourself, we are having our Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Odola, with her entourage, the Deputy Provincial Commissioners. We are having the heads of entities, HODs, the Executive Mayor. We are also having the District Commissioners, which includes all provincial heads and station commanders. We are having representatives from the district boards. We are having representatives from the youth structures, Women's Network and Men for Change, and we are also having our Prof joint stakeholders. We are congratulating each and everyone who managed to honor our invitation this morning. I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, without any waste of time at this point in time, for the message of support, I will call SAPS for their message of support. And I know one of they are just going straight to the point, exactly like Pokro. So it will be SAPS and Pokro. A round of applause. Thank you, Commander.
Program Director, Azizem Zabad was in today. Program Director, Captain Poko, the member of the Executive Council responsible for transport safety and liaison, Mayor Timakachokoloi, the head of department for transport safety and liaison, Ntate Rodney Peterson, the SAPS Northern Cape Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Otola, all Deputy Provincial Commissioners, the Chairperson of the NC CPF Board in absentia, all District Commissioners, SAPS Provincial Heads, SAPS Senior Managers, the SAPU Regional Deputy Chairperson, Comrade Ernest Muilwa, and all SAPU leaders present here today, the leadership of Pop, Comrade Zamani Matiso, esteemed stakeholders, all delegates, all protocol observed, allow me to say good morning. I'm not going to say Amanda. On behalf of the South African Policing Union in the Northern Cape, I extend our heartfelt gratitude for the opportunity to address this important gathering, our first Northern Cape Crime Summit, or Indaba. This forum signifies a collective commitment to confronting the scourge of crime that continues to undermine the safety and well-being of our communities in our province and our country. Recent national crime statistics offered a mixed yet insightful perspective on our province's security situation. While we have observed that Northern Cape's murder rate is on the rise, where young and precious lives are lost due to criminal activities that are fueled by substance abuse, and to an extent the unemployment rate in our province, we appreciate that as the province we are moving in the right direction when looking at other crime categories. Provincial Commissioner SAPU remains steadfast in its belief that effective crime prevention and resolution or solution requires a multifaceted approach. We advocate for the re-establishment of specialized units within the South African Police Service, particularly those focusing on murder, robbery, gang-related, and the establishment of your GBVF unit. MEC President have explained GBVF as a scourge. So we must ensure that at least we create a unit that specifically deals about GBVF to address the scourge of that particular crime. Now, the dissolution of such units, in our view, it has hindered capacity to address these serious crimes effectively. Moreover, SAPU emphasizes the importance of collaboration with community stakeholders. It is imperative that SAPS engages with diverse community groups, not just selective organizations, to foster trust and collective action in combating crime. To build upon the progress made and to address the challenges that persist, SAPU encourages all stakeholders to consider the following strategies. 1. Enhance community policing partnerships. Now that on its own will strengthen the role of community policing forums by ensuring they are inclusive and representative of all community sectors. This will facilitate the better communication and cooperation between SAPS and our respective communities that the South African Police Service is serving. Number two, we need to invest in specialized training and resources. This is to equip police officers with the necessary skills and tools to tackle emerging crime trends, including cybercrime and organized criminal activities. Continuous professional development is crucial to maintaining an effective police service. The third one is that we need to promote substance abuse awareness and prevention. Now, given the correlation between alcohol abuse and violent crimes, SAPS supports the initiatives aimed at reducing substance abuse through education, rehabilitation programs, and stricter enforcement of laws against illegal alcohol outlets. Number four, MEC, we are saying that we need to focus on youth engagement and development. We need to implement programs that provide young people with alternatives to criminal activities such as sports, education, and vocational training. Engaging the youth is vital for long-term crime prevention. The fifth one, we are saying that we have to have a leverage on technology and intelligence. MEC, we need to invest in modern day technology and intelligence gathering methods to enhance crime detection and prevention efforts. MEC, we understand the economic outlook of our province and also of the country. It makes it difficult for institutions of government to really get the resources that we need in order to fight crime. But what is good about the initiative that was taken by the provincial management through the leadership of our provincial commissioner, we are saying that we applaud our provincial management because the fight against crime needs a concerted effort. The fight against crime is not a sectoral issue. All government institutions need to come together. Business community need to come also on board. But most importantly, the community must play their role in the fight against crime. In conclusion, MEC, the challenges we face in the Northern Cape, they are significant, but not insurmountable. Through unity, strategic planning, and unwavering commitment, we can create a safer environment for all residents. SAPS stands ready to collaborate with SAPS, government agencies, and community stakeholders to achieve this goal. Together, let us forge a path toward a future where crime no longer dictates the terms of our daily lives. I thank you.
Thank you. Now, I know you did not want to say Amandla, but you said it. You said you are not going to say Amandla, but you said Amandla. Comrade Matiso for Pop Group. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, Program Director. DMEC that is here with us, the Provincial Commissioner, the HOD of Safety, the Executive Mayor with us here, the representatives from the different departments that are here with us, Public Service Commission, Home Affairs, representatives from Transnet, Gender Equality Commission that is here with us, ENPA. I think I've covered those that have heard that are here. Whilst we are giving a message of support, maybe we must start this message in this particular phrase, commission. In your briefing session, you made us aware that the CPF or the provincial CPF is not around, of which for us it raises a number of questions. I think this is the second session that I'm attending, or the third session that I'm attending, where CPF is not around. One session was attended of safety by General Mahal. We raised an issue that says if relations between management of SAPS and CPF are not in good conditions, they are not good, it means that the war that we want to wage, we are not going to win that particular war. Because to us, CPF is like a stakeholder. This is a crime in Indaba, where the executive leadership of CPF was supposed to be here and be able to interact with our communities around resolutions that will be taken here. Now, in their absence, we can't do that. But we are happy that some of the districts are represented by their CPFs here. We must also greet the patrollers that are here with us. A quick quote, Commissioner and the MEC. It comes from Martin Luther King. It was also used by the former President Nelson Mandela. It says, I quote, "We must come to see that the end we seek is a society at peace with itself, a society that can live with itself and its conscience." Now, whilst we have this particular crime in Indaba, one critical issue that we are sure of as a trade union is to strategize and see how then do we fight a number of scourge that our communities find themselves within this particular province. And the critical issue of SAPS is just to bring a stable and a peaceful society that will be able to live amongst itself. But whilst we are invited here, this crime in Indaba comes at a critical point, MEC and the Commissioner, that around the country, it also happens in our own province, where we see our women, our children becomes a target of us men, where we see we have become a society that is not at peace with each other. We've become a society that is not at peace with women and children. It looks like we were not raised by these women that we continuously kill. And I'm of the view, or as more we are of the view, that one critical issue that the Crime Summit is going to focus on, how then do we rescue this particular pandemic, which is gender-based violence against our own people, against our own women. But as we move with the message of support, this crime in Indaba, it must not just become a ticking box that the national the crime in Indaba, let provinces also have a crime in Indaba. It must be a coming together of different minds that will be able to pave a way and see to it how then do we fight this particular crime in this particular province. How then do we reduce the crime stats? But it must not just be about stats, it must be about visibility of police within our communities. how they interact with our communities, how then do we make use of them, how do they respond when they are called by our societies. So these are some of the issues that this particular crime Indaba must be able to deal with. But at the same time, whilst we are here, we want to say this crime Indaba must be able to be a communication program that will be able to be cascaded down by station commanders, by district commanders to our communities. Maybe whilst we are mentioning the issue of districts, we must also say, Commissioner, we've approved a structure with SAPS as spoke that we must have sub-districts. We are of the view that those sub-districts might be able to assist us. But whilst we agree to that issue of sub-districts, Commissioner, it has been our call that says, how then do you put an ordinary constable at a cold face that it's newly appointed, that it's not experienced, you think that you'll be able to deal with issues of crime? Our call has been that let's see to it from national to provinces to districts that senior police officials that are well vested with issues of crime, that are well vested with law, they must be distributed or sent or deployed to the cold face and be able to deal with these particular issues. But at the same time, we must also say this to this crime Indaba. It can't be that specialized units, when there is somebody who's killed, a family must wait for 20 hours for those specialized units to arrive at that particular scene. So we are of the view, when you deal with some districts, your specialized units will be closer to our communities. That the trauma of the families that experience this particular program, when somebody within the family has been killed, must not be there and lay there for 20 hours. So it says to us, this crime Indaba must be able also to look to that particular issue. How then do we deploy our resources usefully within our communities, closer to our communities? But at the same time, this crime unit, it must speak to an improvement of relations with communities. It must also speak to an improvement of labor relations amongst us as stakeholders with your department, provincial commission. You see, there's a tendency now, Commissioner, in your absence, you get everyone who wants to become a commissioner taking decisions whilst there are engagements with yourselves, and then want to enforce those decisions whilst we are there engaged. The issue of security, Commissioner, with us is still a thorny issue that we must be able to resolve as we spoke over the phone, myself and yourself. We are not going to go to the public media, we are not going to write to any newspaper, but the issue of POP here in Kuruman, where they don't have accommodation, it can't be just left unattended, Commission. These are some of the critical issues. That POP is one of a specialized unit that will be able to assist you in fighting crime. But we want to bring this message that says, if there is no accommodation where you want to accommodate them, because a boardroom can't be an accommodation, let's revert back to the normal shift system that they used to work till we find each other. If it says that the National Divisional Commissioner puts pressure on yourself in general that deals with crime, it can't be an issue that our members must serve. It can't be an issue, General Besnar, that when National puts pressure on you, and then these ordinary members must serve. There's no accommodation there. Resources are not there. Anything is not there that is supposed to belong to those ordinary workers. If we can't resolve it very soon, we will revert back to that ordinary shift system that they normally used to work to. But at the same time, this crime Indaba must make also an assessment. How then do we distribute resources fairly so across the province for all workers so that they can be able to respond on time. It must also look to an issue, how then do we empower our police officials? We understand they go through a training, but how then do we improve that particular training? How then do we do that selection process in dealing with specialized units so that we can have committed police officials that can be able to do this particular job? Whilst we are here also, we want to say that the improvement of us as police officials in fighting crime, it speaks to those specialized units, as we've mentioned in your pops. But at the same time, Commissioner, we can't just police in a vacuum. As POP, we thought this Indaba will be able to invite a number of stakeholders, not just invite an executive mayor to come and open this particular crime Indaba. Because police are policing in an environment that belongs to municipalities. Some of the municipalities don't have bylaws. So how then do we tap into that particular space? Some of the areas where police are supposed to police, there are no go zone areas. Your vehicles can't access the crime scene because streets are not there. Some of the areas where you get your policing supposed to happen, there are no street lights. It's dark for police to be able to see into that. So ours is to say to the departments that let us not operate in silos. All of us, we must be able to see to it, but we bring all departments together so that we can be able to fight crime. If we can do that, Commissioner, we think we will be able to deal with these particular issues as we are closing. But we wish when we are here, we will be able to make our contributions here as a trade union and see to it how then we improve and bring some of the policies of policing in place within those commissions. We want to thank you, Commissioner. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very please, Bob Crew, for your message of support. I don't want to waste any time. A lot of time has been wasted already. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, for the purpose of this event, I will call to the podium the Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Odola, to come and give us the purpose of the event.
Thank you, Program Director. Let me start by greeting the Program Directors. I was told today there's 2 Program Directors. The MEC for Transport Safety and Liaison, Marco Loy, the Mayor, the Executive Mayor of JTG, thank you for allowing us to use your space, ma'am. The all mayors that are present here today, the provincial head, the HOD for Transport Safety and Liaison, Mr. Peterson, the representative of the Regional Commissioner for Correctional Service, the DPP of the Northern Cape, Advocate Sagata, and other NPA representatives, I've seen a few, all heads of entities, government departments and structures, the executive members of the district boards and the station boards of the CPF, including the community on blue. I see a lot of them here. I'm not sure whether it's only JTG or the other districts are also represented. All deputy provincial commissioners, district commissioners, senior officers, all the members from the family in blue, our partners, the chairperson of Pop Crew, Mr. Matiso, the acting chairperson of SAPO, Mr. Kopang, the chairpersons of the SAPS Women's Network and Men for Change, all sponsors and donors, all representatives of tertiary institutions, NGO and structures, members of civil society, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say all protocol observed in case I have not acknowledged one representative that is present is not here, that is here. I think I've left a very important representative, the chairperson of the House of Traditional Leaders and the horses that are present here today. Chairperson, before I even go further, you are saying this chairperson of Popur, the Mizo, is supposed to be all stakeholders. We invited all stakeholders. We invited the local government, all the mayors, the local mayors and all the district mayors. They all confirmed. But unfortunately, I don't see them except for the executive mayor of JP. Maybe they are still coming. MEC today is the first of the two-day session we convened to discuss crucial strategies in combating crime and ensuring public safety in the Northern Cape. As I acknowledge all the representatives present here, it is a pleasure for us to sit here, all of us, to look into ourselves and see how we can take this province forward. This Indaba MEC was planned to take place last year, but unfortunately, because of competing responsibilities, we couldn't take it. That is why we decided this year that we have to take this opportunity to have this Indaba because it's been long overdue. The Northern Cape Crime Indaba provides a platform for stakeholders to share insights and develop concrete plans to tackle crime, and we appreciate your active participation during the breakaways sessions as the program will unfold, and also the commitment that we will follow the deliberations, interrogations, and debates. Let us discuss the current crime trends and challenges and develop new strategies and plans to address crime issues plaguing our communities. Policing is a collective responsibility. We need each other to succeed in our mission to create safer communities, hence the collaboration which is essential in taking this province to the next level. We have recently released the crime stats for the country, that is the fourth quarter, and we are going to release the one for the province on Tuesday next week. And I must confess that as a province, we did not do well. Quota crime remains a great concern. Despite all efforts and to address these crime categories, we are not winning the battle. We need robust and concerted efforts from all the role players participating in this crime Indaba. Crime cannot be sole responsibility of the police, hence the collaboration of sectors, both civilian and government, as well as the business sector. We recognize the challenges we face, including stock theft, gender-based violence, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, corruption, murder, rape, assault, damage to essential infrastructure, as well as lately extortion, which is a new trend in the province. But we are dealing with all these crime categories. We'll need to leverage on technology, community engagement, and intelligent-led policing to overcome these challenges. Community policing is at the heart of our strategy. We need to build trust with our communities and work together to identify and solve problems. This includes the supporting community police forums and other community structures. Hence our call to action to allow us to forge, improve and maintain working relations and partnerships already in place and commit to work together to make our communities safer. We need to be proactive, innovative and collaborate in our approach. Together we can make a difference and build a better future for all South Africans. I appreciate and commend the efforts of law enforcement agencies, community members and all stakeholders who have worked tirelessly to combat crime. But somehow this is not enough to address our current crime situation in the province. This Indaba is an opportunity to reflect and review the strategies that we need to put in place and involve communities as well as other role players to ensure that we meet the merits to deliver service to our communities. Policing is a collective responsibility. We really need each other. As an individual, you have to police yourself and other people around you. We need to share best practices and experiences in implementing community policing initiatives that can address the crime situation in the Northern Cape. This is achievable if we share resources, expertise, and intelligence to combat and curb crime. We have to be proactive, innovative, and collaborative in our approach. The collective must explore our ways to improve investigation and prosecution outcomes, including the use of technology and intelligent-led policing. Ongoing community engagements and partnership policing play a pivotal role and cannot be overemphasized. Nobody must be left behind when it comes to addressing crime because every person has a role to play. In conclusion, I'm overwhelmed by the attendance of so many stakeholders, which is a clear indication that the crime situation in our province is a priority for all represented in this venue today. I wish to thank all delegates in advance for your active participation and valuable contribution that will emanate from this Indaba. After this Indaba, let us implement the strategies and recommendations discussed over the 2 days to build safer communities in the Northern Cape. I thank you.
Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. At this point in time, I will call to the podium the MEC for Transport Safety and Liaison, MEC Koloi, for the keynote address. Shall we rise, ladies and gentlemen?
Ons mag maar sit.
Thank you very much, Program Director, Reverend Popo. I knew Reverend Popo from the dusty streets of Louisville Dorp, where I stayed when he was the presiding priest or reverend of the AME Church in Uppington. Thank you very much, Reverend. Yeah, let me take this opportunity to acknowledge the Executive Mayor of the JTG District, Councillor Queen. Also, if we do have our hosts in our midst, our traditional leadership are also to recognize our Provincial Commissioner, Mayor General Otola, the Head of the Department of Safety, Intade Rodney Peters. I was told this morning and also got a message last night that the provincial board won't be present in this event, and I'm very, very worried. PC, I'm very, very worried, but we will discuss it on another platform. Let me also recognize the Deputy Provincial Commissioners in our midst, the District Commissioners, and the entire senior management of SAPS. Also recognize amongst us our sister departments, which is Correctional Services, Justice, Home Affairs, Transnet, in crime, or stakeholders in crime. Let me also recognize our head of civilian oversight in our midst, Dr. Jason, and all our unions present here. I saw Popo and Sapo, also the different stakeholders, all your district boards who are here. We really appreciate your presence here. I can see the one of my region is here, and I was just listening when Mr. Bai, when the PC said, or when we were briefed to say which districts are here, and I was looking where's ZFM, because ek sal persoonlik huis toe gegaan het, laat ons kan tee gedrink het om julle nie hier sê. But welcome, or you have been recognized. All our invited guests, let me also join the PC to say all protocol observed. If there's anyone that I did not mention his name, let me take this opportunity to say good morning. Goeiemorgen. Dumelang. Molweni. Program Director, the Premier of the province, Dr. Zamani Sow, decided to delegate this responsibility to me as the Executive Authority of the Department of Transport Safety and Liaison. This is a responsibility that we take very serious. Crime is a serious factor for all sectors of society. We gather here in this Indaba during June. This month has been declared as Youth Month by a democratic government called South Africa. This was an effort to recognize the role played by young people in our liberation struggle. This is also the month that we celebrate 70 years since the adoption of the Freedom Charter in Kliptown. The Freedom Charter became the guiding document we use to develop inclusive legislation for all citizens of our country. Program Director, since my appointment, we have visited various police stations within the province. I am now familiar with most of the operations. The visit was a real eye-opener for me. Just last week, I visited 2 garages, one in Springbok and one in Appington. And then I realized the important role that those garages are playing to support the functions of the police in our province. The South African Police Services derives its mandate from Section 205 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa with the objective to prevent, combat, and investigate crime, maintain public order, protect and secure inhabitants of the Republic and their property, and uphold and enforce the law. This mandate lays a significant responsibility on all of us here in this Indaba. We must ensure that we implement with community structures effective prevention programs. Program Director, we must involve communities as the front line in the fight against crime in our province. Fighting crime truly is a societal matter that we must all address. When I visited the various police stations in our province, as I've said, and I was listening to the presentation that was made to me and my team when we visited those police stations, then I really realized that we can't expect from the police to fight crime alone. It is impossible. Because one police station will serve more than 10,000 people. And then we expect that maybe 6 or 10 police officers must now make sure that in that 10,000 communities we don't want crime. But then I realized if we as the community does not play our role of fighting crime in our communities, we will never, never, never overcome crime. The community policing boards and all the CPFs must take lead in community mobilization. It is very important that as the CPFs, we must mobilize communities behind the banner of SAPS to make sure we take hands and we fight crime. When I addressed the police PC, I always said to them that I was also a member of the police forum. In those days, at a very young age, when we patrol our streets, people were saying to us that, hier kom hierdie polisie weer met die pyn. Hulle is die strate vol en hulle is so volop. But we enjoy it because we contribute to the safety of our communities. I have expressed my desire to convene a summit with all community policing forums in our province. This is one thing that I really want to do moving forward. This will be a platform to share best practices in the fight against crime. We will hear from Francis Barr what are they doing to reduce crime, and then Namapa will come in and also make a presentation, ZFM will come in, Pixley as well, and JTG. And then we can learn from one another. We must work hard during this year to address the funding challenges faced by our CPFs in this province. Gender-based violence and femicide continues to plague our communities. This is one pandemic that really PC. One mother was said before I took up this responsibility, when we had a discussion in my other capacity as a leader. And the mother said, I want to say it like she said, say, as jy nie tronk toe gegaan het, vermoord nie. As jy mens doodgemaak het en jy nie vir tronk het, dan sê 'n klomp mense aan die dood geveel. Maar ongelukkig kan jy dit nie doen nie because you will face the law. But we must really discuss the challenges faced by our CPFs in terms of funding or resources in the province so that we can really give effective services to our people in our province. The difficulty is that this happens in our homes and it's extremely difficult for the police to conduct their responsibility. I think it's in the state of the province address when the Premier said that in the Northern Cape, the streets are safer than our homes. And this is true. If you look at all the crimes that are happening, crimes are happening in our houses. Our streets are more safer than our houses when it comes to gender-based violence. Equally, we must step up our prevention and education programs to serve as a buffer for such. Recent media reports have indicated that crime against women is rising, and thus Indaba must assist in finding strategies to curb this evil against our women and children. Ons vroue en kinders is nie veilig nie. Dit is 'n groot probleem vir ons almal. Die mathata vela. And I was saying when we opened the Easter prayer in Kimberley for the Easter weekend, I don't know why are men really busy doing this to us as women. Because a woman brought you into this life. You are being raised by a woman. You married a woman and a woman gave you children. You see that role that the woman is playing. But still outside there, we've got men that are doing as they please when it comes to women. And I think it's about time. I'm happy the CPF boards are here, busy. It is about time that men must man up. Because it is easy for a man to talk to another man. Men for change. I see one of my sons reading the stakeholder, Men for Change, Mhlawuli. It is about time that we cascade those forums down to the communities so that men can start to take responsibility what is happening in our streets and what is happening in our homes. Because as women, we try our almost best, but it seems that our best is not enough. So we need the hand of the man to strengthen us to make sure that we fight gender-based violence in our society. Because crime is a societal issue, challenge. And most of us in communities are looking to the police. But really, the police can't do it alone. PC, we have also seen that reports around the good work that is done by our detective around gender-based violence, and we are really happy in the province. This gives us hope that perpetrators of such will face jail time. And we say thank you as a department. We know it's not easy, but you are trying your utmost best to serve the people of the Northern Cape. Because victims feel confident to report cases of abuse, they must see the police station as a safe haven. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to rural safety and crime on our farms, they are currently an important discussion point as well. This Indaba must discuss rural safety and come up with solutions to problems we have in our rural and farm areas, just like gender-based violence. We must really come up with solutions to see how we can really curb those crimes. Program Director Reverend Toko, this Indaba must find way to restore private and investors' confidence in our province. In my previous deployment, PC, I was a mayor in Africa. And what I always say to our colleagues when we had discussion with the workers and the unions at large, we said that to attract investors, there are certain things that investors look before they come and invest in a town. First is the crime, is the condition of the streets, is how's the electricity running in that town, how is the water running in that town, and the cleanliness of this town. It is when investors come and invest in your town or in your province. So if we want to attract investors to our province, the first thing that they will look is to how is the crime rate in that province. But we have confidence in our women and men in blue that they are working very hard to make sure that we reduce crime in our province. Crime has driven businesses out of various small towns, and this lead to increase in unemployment. As werk was is, of as mense werk was is, dan het hulle baie tyd om hulle hande om misdaad te pleeg. Dan is hulle mis nou hulle doen niks nie. We need big and small businesses to be part of the solution. Like when we have this in Davos, then businesses must also come to the party. So when we sponsor our resolutions of program of action, then their input is also very important in that regard. PC, the misuse of alcohol remains a youth problem in our province. When our people drink, they drink a lot. We must implement more educational programs around substance abuse, HPV. Ons weet almal hoe drink ons mense, dis baie hartseer. As nou nie iets wat ons kan onder die tafel inskuif en sê, laat ek maar 'n lamp op 'n gesonde vinger draai. It is very heartbroken to see over weekends how our people is drinking in our province. So, HOD, we must really make sure that we take hands, develop programs so that we can go to the bizos, door to doors, and make sure that we curb really the issue of alcohol misuse within our province and in our different communities. HOD, we must also meet with the liquor board to discuss the licenses, condition of bottle stores and taverns that are also now open on Sundays. People don't want to go to church anymore. They said no, they start with the bottle store, and when they enter, they will come out when church is already done. So we must really be an urgent task for the department to make sure that we discuss this matter, because the liquor boards and the gambling boards and all those boards are also partners of safety. Members of the CPF boards, die drugs loop met die voete in baie gemeenskappe. Just last week, something happened in the Francis Bar district in terms of drugs, but drugs are all over. I don't know those years when the people used to sell, as it wat is daga, metakwan, is daga, ek weet nie metakwan. Yeah, when people was dealing with daga, it was not like that. But today there is an evil called drugs. And your main is drugs and illegal mining. Yeah, and illegal mining. Now they said to me that when they start to speak in terms of illegal mining, they said that is Lesotho nationals. I didn't know Lesotho. Now when they start program director, they say, as you all better of Lesotho, that's all the mine here and plains here and Port Nolof, vol as is net Lesotho's wat daar is. Then I say, yo. It's now my brothers that are there. But we have a problem with those Lesotho nationals. When I visited the garage in Springbok, I saw a bakkie, and that bakkie was very familiar with one bakkie that was at my home. Then I gave those people a place to sleep. And I say, yo, ek maar stil bly. Net toe gaan ek tronk toe. Ek is baie bang vir die tronk. But this is the things that they are doing. And the community is not assisting us. Because when the police go and raid the house, the community is up in arms. Tomorrow is the very same community that comes and complain about the drugs that are roaming our streets. So we have to go out to HOD and make sure that we engage our communities in this regard. It cannot be like that. Drugs is even on our schools. Children are going with their bags. In the bags is drugs. So it's really not a good sign, but the community must really man up and make sure we take the hands of the police and we work together. The CPF are doing their almost best, really I know, doing their almost best to educate the communities to say that, but we must take hands and move forward. And if there's any issues, the office of the PC is an open door policy. My office self is an open door policy. We can talk to one another, but to make sure that we really clarify those issues and move forward. Because we don't want a situation like this one that we get this morning of the CPF board. PC, we must discuss the effects that drugs have on our young people. They are destroying our youth. Youth crime deaths must be your opportunity to bring practical programs we can implement to educate our young people from a high school level. We must save our children. We must save our young people. Ladies and gentlemen, contact crime is one of the most reported crimes in our province. In the third quarter, we had a reduction in this category. We hope to see the same when we release the the stats next week. Socioeconomic conditions like inequality, unemployment, substance abuse are factors in most cases of contact crimes. People still to feed an addiction, we must get drugs out of our communities. Let us find ways to protect our children from abuse. Let us make our streets safe again for our children. Let us mobilize men through church, sports organizations to fight against gender-based violence. Die kerk moet saamwerk om misdaad te bekampen. Ons het allemaal een rol om te speel. Police stations must be seen as a beacon of hope for victims of crime. We can't allow secondary victimization. This is a deterrent. Our communities will no longer report crime to this persist. We must work with the CPF and not against each other. We need to work with the private sector, communities, and all sectors in society to fight crime. People must feel safe to invest their money in the Northern Cape. All of us as a collective in this Indaba must spend no effort to ensure that our communities feel safe, children can play in the streets, and businesses can prosper. Now, in terms of municipalities, we see, this is what I always say to mayors and speakers in municipalities, that if any government department has a program, the speaker and the mayor must come with a full complement of councillors to come and join these events. Because crime is happening in wards, crime is happening, mayor, in municipal jurisdictions. This is where crime is happening. Crime is not happening on a provincial level. Like the liquor board. What I said last to the liquor board, whenever issuing a liquor license, you must make sure that you consult with the local municipality that are there. We cannot issue left, right, and center liquor licenses and expect that we must have a safe and a healthy community. We must make sure that we liaise with the local authorities, that we all of us can make the environment conducive for each and every one of us to live. So municipalities must attend these events. I will take it up with the Premier so that the Premier on his platforms can raise it with the different mayors or with the executive mayors of the districts, so that the mayors can have their meetings with the locals, so that we must attend these Indabas. But let me congratulate PC and your team for conducting this Indaba, and also thank the unions that are present here today for your presence. And in the third quarter, the Northern Cape was one of the provinces that had a reduction in crime, and I just really want to congratulate you, PC, and your team. We are looking forward for the crime stats of the fourth quarter, which is next week, and we believe that it will also be positive when we release those stats. But all the best for this 2-day Indaba, and let us participate in those commissions and come up with a program of action to make sure that that program of action can lead us to a place where we can talk about zero crime in the Northern Cape. And the implementation of the resolutions that will be taken here over this 2-day HOD, we will make sure as the department that we will monitor those implementations go out, so that we can also play our part as the Department of Transport Safety and Liaison. I must choose now my words very, very. Let me leave you with Psalms 133, which the Lord of the King David said to us, "How good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity." This is the verse that I want to leave with all of us, that we must work together in unity so that we can make sure we serve the people of the Northern Cape to the best of our ability with the little resources that we have. I thank you.
Thank you very much, MEC. Now, my program obviously will not be like yours, and that is why I'm called Program Director and not Master of Ceremony. Your program says it's tea break, but mine says at this point in time there's been some additional courses to the commissions. So I will call on Brigadier Kopeleti just to indicate as to these other forces that have been added to the commission, to which commission do you belong? And then from there, I will tell you if there's tea or not. That verse MEC, when it goes down, it says how beautiful it is when the children of men are together. It says, it is like oil flowing through the beard of Aaron.
Thank you very much, Provincial Program Director. MEC and PC, if it was for me, I was going to suggest that we close the Indaba because a way forward was already given. If we listened attentively to what was presented by yourself, there's a number of points that we can take to our commissions. MEC, I'm just going to add on the forces to the commissions. Brigadier Cochran is going to give strategic direction in terms of what is expected in the commissions. Like we earlier said, that Commission 1 will be led by Major General Mtukushe. The scriber will be AC Khasitiwi under the topic Gender-Based Violence and Femicide. Mr. Advocate Mlaudi will do a round to all the commissions. Mr. Dutch and Mr. Mukhosi from Department Transport Safety and Liaison will be in Commission 1. The Men for Change will be in Commission 1. Spiritual Crime Prevention, Dr. Malo will be in Commission 1. ZFM Youth Structure will be in Commission 1. JTG District Board will be in Commission 1. MEC, what we said is that we do not want the same people of the same district in this, we must meet so that we can get advices from one another in terms of best practice. Moving over to Commission 2, which is led by Brigadier Kutia, Crime Committed at Learning Institutions. We added the Women's Network, Warrant Officer Shupinyana from EHW, Director Jason from DTSL, Francis Bart Youth Structure, Namakwa Youth Structure, ZFM District Board. The scriber is AC Museki. The last commission, Integrated Crime Prevention Approach within Community Policing Framework. The scriber is AC Tebe, which will be led by Major General Makhari. Mr. Dupriya from Correctional Services will join that group. Mrs. Mafilika, Mr. Sibapalang from Department Transport Safety and Liaison will join. Spiritual Crime Prevention, Mr. Mufukeng will join. Big Slikaseme Youth Structure will join Commission 3.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, my watch says it's 11 o'clock. We will adjourn and go for tea. And we will only have 30 minutes we must be back here at 11:30. Again, I repeat, my watch says it's 11 o'clock. We will break for tea, and then we will come back at 11:30. Now the request is, the tea will be served in the dining hall this side. Members of SAPS, you are requested to give preference to our stakeholders to first to have tea. Don't worry. But let us allow our members that we have invited to have tea first, and then we will follow. And then we will not have tea. We will be debriefing this site. The NEC wants to see us this side, so we are not going to have tea. We are just going to be with the MEC. The MEC will leave at the entrance for tea, and then we can leave after the 11. We are leaving the site.
Listen, we people have to move around. Don't sit.
Yeah. Because they said I must move around.
And him too. So that.
And Biri is also here.
Who?
Biri.
Yeah.
And then my thesis staff is there. I want the thesis staff to be at GBV commission. So
Yeah.
And we coordinate everything.
Then we know when Isha coming. Let's that one off. Schools.
Yeah.
That is very important if we start establishing. Deep down, I know there was a school safety committee where you can have people from NB to attend and also to be able to advise how they can children. And then the other one, the last one, we must have advice about our community. We must get and informed. You see, when we know, we know when we make more contacts and use those issues.